Hello. Um, I think that the most vital part that I will take with me from this class and moving forward into life is really understanding what type of leader that I am. I feel like the activities that we go through in class and in the films that we watch and us like distinguishing like who's the leader and who wasn't, and who's the antagonist and things like that, it really gives like empowerment to ourselves for us to like to understand like who we are, because I feel like oftentimes we look for leaders to be like the loudest in the room, the person who's getting the most praise and the most recognition. But in Rec 120, it kind of helped me understand that all leaders do not look the same. They don't have to be men and they don't have to be women, that we're all different. And I feel like that alone gives empowerment. Because personally, I know that I've never ever been the type to be loud, and that's something I do need to work on, because like even in class, like I'll know the right answer but like still not say anything. So it helps me realize that me being who I am, although we all are growing and working on different aspects of us to improve, but it helps me realize that just because I'm not the loudest or because I'm not the one in the forefront all the time, it doesn't make me less of a leader. It just makes me a leader in my own way. I feel like that's awesome because it kind of encourages people like me and anyone for that matter to just to continue to be a leader in your own way, to just like keep striving forward and to keep being you. And even if you aren't impacting thousands of people, those around you can look to you as to be a leader. Oftentimes, and within my friendship group, I find myself a leader by example in most ways. I feel like I'm the only one in my group of friends who's obtaining their college degree, and who really is just like really headstrong about my future. And I feel like as my friends see me being dedicated to what I want to do in my life, that pushes them to want to do more. I feel like that alone could be a leader. From me going to school, my friend seeing it, my friend, she's enrolling in Gateway. I'm helping her with her application. So I think on that level, that's where I will play, like, that's where I'm a leader. I'm a leader on more intimate levels than, just trying to, like, get thousands of people or like a rally, because I just not my personality. I just never been that way. But Rec 120 has definitely showed us that being who we are is definitely okay, and we have to, use our qualities to our best advantage, because we are all different and unique. um I appreciated the movie discussions a lot. I think it's very interesting to see how we can all watch one single movie, but come back with different opinions about it, different excuse me, different perspectives. I think that that was very great to come all together and sit down and speak about them. And for 12 Angry Men, the question that my partner and I raised, I was very surprised at the not the feedback, but the opinions that they had around the question. Do you believe that a mother should go to jail if she stole from a store, even if she was like trying to help her child out? I felt that that was a very difficult question to ask, because everything isn't black and white. And it was great to see everyone eager to answer that question. And even if no one has been in the situation where they had to grow up on welfare, or if they had to fend for themselves or anything like that, it was I think it was, if nothing else, it was a good conversation to have. I feel like that question opened up a lot of doors for more dialogue about, where we have been to and what can our personal background and our personal stories contribute to a group. It was kind of refreshing to see, a group of people who come from different backgrounds and different races and different point of views come together and have a open discussion about something that really affects people today. And I like the fact that those that have never been in that situation were asking questions to another peer about, like, hey, I understand what you're saying, but like, can you explain more? Or I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that. I like that because, we're going to meet a lot of people throughout life that haven't walked the same path as us, and we're going to be eager, and sometimes we're going to be asking the question and trying to figure out where they come from, as well as we're going to have to answer questions so other people could grow from our experiences. So I feel like overall, even if some people in the class aren't as open-minded, I feel like the class has definitely helped people become more open-minded and more susceptible to hearing what other people have to say. So I think everyone benefits from just a discussion. Communication is key. So I think this class has definitely helped for communication, open-mindedness, and patience. You have to have patience when you're trying to understand someone else's life, because like, we hold stories very near and dear to us that, that sometimes it could be difficult to speak about. I also enjoy that in this class, we were all encouraged to be ourselves. I feel like in any other class at like university, it's very like, like this, like very strict, very like, cookie cutter. But Rec 120 really like kind of like push people out their comfort zone and to like talk to different people and to just like really be you. I feel like that was really encouraging. And for us as graduating seniors, I feel like that was a plus, because as we graduate, we're really moving on to the next chapter in our lives, and we're just trying to figure out who we are. And this class has really, helped us figure it out. Like, hey, like, what are we gonna do with the rest of our lives, and like, how are we gonna like get there? How are we gonna live, and how are we gonna treat people? How can like people look to us as being a leader? Because whether we know it or not, we are indirectly directly influence people every single day. And that's a task that I don't think too many people take seriously. We often go throughout our day just like, hey, this is just me. This is just what Alana's doing today. But what I do affects with my mom, my brothers, and my coworkers. So I feel like this class has really just pushed us to be mindful. I will use the word mindful, to be mindful of who we are and what we're doing, and what type of energy and what type we're putting out there. Because as we spoke about the agreements, it was the agreements. As we spoke about the agreements, we have to always do the best we can, and by that we're just showing people that I did my best. Although my best may not look like yours, it's my personal best, and that's all I can do. I found that to be funny because growing up, my mother, she never asked us to get all A's, or to reach a certain mark in life, or to do this by a certain time, or we never got in trouble for not living up to her expectations. But rather, she has always installed in us trying your best. If I had a C on a paper, she'll say, okay, but did you try your best? And that's all that she really wanted, is for us to try our best. I mean, that's all that we can do. If not, we'll all go through life just stressed out because no one's perfect. No one's perfect at all. I can definitely take a lot of the elements that were taught in class out into the real world. And I will also, I feel like, be more comfortable talking to people that do not look like me. Often we try to, like, stay with people that look like us just because that's a commonality on the surface. It's not as intimidating, it's not as scary, it's not as nervous walking up to someone that reminds me of myself. But definitely, this class has really told me that not to be as nervous to talk to people that don't look like me, or that have maybe a different interest, because we can all learn from each other and we all have something to give. And in reality, we have more things in common than not. We're all human and, trying to figure this thing about life out. So, we're all on the same journey, but just different routes and different ways. So, I feel like this class has definitely opened my mind up to, meeting new people, meeting different people, getting outside of my comfort zone, and just just really striving ahead and not being resilient. I feel like this class has really done that for us, and I'm sure the rest of the class too. So yeah, I feel like as I'm going off into my career now, I'm definitely gonna take the fact that we have to just understand people from their level of perception, and that their background will influence their actions, just as we seen in 12 Angry Men. Just as the jurors, they already had a prejudgment about this young man because his class, his color, and today people make judgments about your name. Does your name sound ethnic or not? I feel like as I'm going off into the real world, that on both hands of the stick, I'll now be less judgmental towards certain things. But then again, I also realize that this is a part of life. People are going to do this, and that really affects their actions and how they handle you. But I feel like I realize that it's not personal. It's not personal because this is how they grew up, and a lot of things that we grow up learning as adults, we then have to unteach it to ourselves. So that's very vital, I feel like, because as I just said, going off into the workplace, I'm gonna be surrounded by a lot of different people who may perceive me a certain type of way. Because even at my job now, they're really surprised that I'm in school. I don't know why. I cannot tell you why, but they're surprised that I'm getting my degree. And sometimes I'm taken aback from it, because you'll hear comments like, oh wow, because I have weird days off. So it's like, oh, why do you have these days off? Oh, because I'm in school. And you kind of see in their faces but then I just have to realize it has nothing to do with me, and that I'm doing what I have to do, so everything's just fine. And they may have grown up thinking that a lot of African Americans don't go to school. That's on them. But I'll just be one example of someone who may change their mind about African Americans, or just open their mind that you shouldn't be surprised about certain things like that. But that's really it. Rec 120 has, I'll reiterate again, Rec 120 has definitely, I feel like, helped myself and the entire class become more open-minded people, understanding what type of leaders we are. And I think, as I said before, that's very vital because it looks different. Having patience with other people's thoughts and hearing them out, rather than just listening to respond, but listening to understand. All these elements and all the activities and the assignments that we have done in class, I feel like really promoted the outcome of all the tools that we have learned, and the building blocks to what will help us be successful in society, really. If anything, this class has really just like rounded us, like made us become more well-rounded people. Yes, we have the academics part, but you know, it really matters what type of person you are on the inside. So like this class kind of like polished us a little bit, made us understand that, you know, we're people, we have a lot to grow, we have a lot to learn from other people, and at the end of the day, we're leaders in our own way. So yeah.